y'all, we're back with Georgia Peach Cooks and Plans, and today we're bringing to you meatballs with tortellini, and it's going to have a mushroom Parmesan sauce. So for our meatball portion, we are using a little over a pound of ground beef. We're using 1 egg. We're using a little bit over 1/4 cup of ketchup. We've got a 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. I've got about 3 teaspoons of the garlic salt with parsley. I've got about 3 tablespoons of dried parsley. I've got a teaspoon of pepper. I've got 2 teaspoons of garlic. And then I've got a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. And that will all get mixed together. And then for our sauce, we have fresh mushrooms, which I will probably use about half of this. So probably about maybe 3/4 cup of fresh mushrooms. We've got 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of butter. We'll use probably about a teaspoon of lemon juice. There's 2 cups of milk. There's a 1/2 cup of shredded Parmesan. There is 2 teaspoons of dried parsley, about a 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground pepper, and 2 teaspoons of the garlic salt with parsley in it. And then we've got the tortellini itself, and we'll just boil this. Okay, we are going to make our meatball mixture. And to our ground beef, we are going to add an egg. We are going to add the Parmesan. I'm going to add all our seasonings. And we're going to add our ketchup. Mix that all in, and I'll be right back to show you our mixed meat and show you how to roll up the meatballs. Okay, we're back, and we are going to start rolling meatballs. I'm going to roll 1, 2, maybe 3, just to give you a good idea of how big these meatballs are going to be. And then we're going to get them in the frying pan and fry them up. Typically I bake these, but tonight we're trying to do a quick dinner. So we are going to fry these up. Just a little tiny bit of butter to fry them up in. Alright, so you've got about golf ball size meatballs to work with. Okay, we are going to take a tablespoon and a half of butter, and I am going to add my meatballs to the pan. We are going to let these cook until they have browned and have cooked all the way through. When that happens, we'll be back with you. Alright, so side note here, I did not let my meatballs cook all the way through because I remembered that they were going in the sauce, so only cook them 3/4 of the way through. That way when you get them in the sauce, they can flavor the sauce and they can cook all the way through on that. So, we have got some butter going in the pan here. What we're going to do is we're going to saute our mushrooms and then remove them to the same pan that the meatballs are in. Then with the flavored butter that we have left over from sauteing our mushrooms, we're going to build our roux. And that will go ahead and give us a good sauce. So I'm going to let that melt. I'm going to open my mushrooms. They've already done the work for me on this. These sliced mushrooms have already been fresh and cleaned. Fresh and cleaned. They're fresh and they've been cleaned. Oh, and also you want to have your pot of boiling water, or what's yet to boil water, going so it will come to a boil so we can cook our tortellini. So, as I have mentioned, I'm going to take about half of this thing of mushrooms. And we are going to saute those up. Ooh, that's a big old mushroom. Get him put in half. You can just bear down and snip these in half while they're in your pan. Mushrooms are resilient. So we are going to these all snipped up. Let's get our pan turned up. I forgot to turn my pan down to not burn my butter while it was melting. That's a good side tip. If you're ever trying to melt butter, do not melt it on high. Melt it on the lowest possible, get it going, and then turn it up. If you melt it, you will surely burn. If you melt it too fast, you will surely burn it. So just a friendly little tip from you to I there. Alright. So now that we've got these all broken up, we are going to crack just a little bit of salt and pepper on them. I'm sorry. I'm going to crack just a little bit of pepper on them. We will salt in just a tad bit after they start turning color. One that escaped me. I'm going to switch to my spatula over here. I started off using the whisk for my sauce. Ah, well, look at there. Alright, now we're going to put a little bit of salt on these guys. Just a little. Just to draw some of the juices out and to get them going. These are our reserved meatballs that I have taken out of the frying pan when they got cooked almost 3/4 the way through. Alright. Let me get a color. I am going to go back and get just a little bit more butter. Alright, our pot's boiling for our tortellini, so I am going to pour our tortellini into our boiling water. And that is going to cook as we finish the sauce. Follow your directions on your tortellini. And cook according to your directions. Alright. So, I think our mushrooms are good and golden. I'm going to take these off. Put them with the mushrooms. And now we are going to turn our pan off. Not off. We're going to turn our pan down because I just did remind you that we need to cool the pan down a little before we put butter in it, so when we get started on more sauce, we will be back. Alright. Started melting my butter. Now, you guys might think this might be a little bit weird. I'm going to hold back my Parmesan and put in my seasonings. I always season my butter before I put flour. Whoops! Yep, that just happened. That's part of cooking. So now, I will season my, I will put in my flour. And we are going to build our roux. With any good roux, and I'm going to switch to a Alright, I'm going to switch to whisk. And with any good roux, we're going to let the flour cook out. So keep that going. Stir for just a minute or so. You can see our tortellinis are blowing around in the background. And I'm going to turn the oven up just a little bit. Not my oven, my stovetop, excuse me. And I am going to go ahead and slowly whisk in the 2 cups of the milk. I'm going to switch hands. I do this better the other way. Pour a little at a time. As of right now, I have only used 1 3/4 cups. I'm going to let that come up to a boil. And we're going to see where that takes us. Alright, it is starting to bubble. And I am going to add in the rest of my milk. I'm also going to add in a lemon juice. That's probably not even an eighth of a teaspoon. All right, our tortellini finished up, and I have just drained my tortellini. I'm going to put a nice little bed in the middle of our pile. And we are going to come over here and ladle some sauce. I hope you guys enjoy this. It was easy to make. See you next time with another cooking video on Georgia Peach Cooks and Plans.